You're listening to the Sasha Davis Podcast, a show about overcoming fear and manifesting your dream life. Each week, we'll dive deep into real stories and tangible advice about spirituality, law of attraction, mindset, and money so that you can be your happiest, healthiest, and most abundant self. You ready? Here we go. Hey, guys. So this last weekend, I had to share with you, and you guys are just going to come with me for my walk around my house. This weekend I did a Reiki master teacher training, and holy smokes, I just started recording this and it's 3:33. So if that's not telling you something, I don't know what is. Anyways, super stoked. This has been something that has been on my quote unquote bucket list, to-do list for years. Like, I wish I was kidding, but it's been on my someday when list for a very long time. I did Reiki 1 and 2 last year so that I could be a practitioner, and that was life-changing. Ever since I had a Reiki session, probably 6 or 8 years ago, it was an incredible experience. And after that day, I was like, someday I'm going to do this. I'm going to be a Reiki practitioner, and I'm going to teach people how to work with energy, how to heal themselves, essentially. And, but then, I got overwhelmed and told myself things like, oh, you're crazy. It's never going to work. That's not real. What will people think? Just kind of getting in my own head about it. And so I put it off, and then put it off some more. But it always kept resurfacing in my life. And I continued doing like Reiki treatments. I went to a Reiki practitioner still. And then one day, this training popped up again. This training had popped up locally for me for probably 3 or 4 years in a row. And finally I was like, all right, screw it. I'm just going to do it. Because I always told myself, oh, I have too much going on, or you can't take time away, or blah, 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 blah. I would just make excuses why I couldn't do the thing. And I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. There's always that one thing that you want to do that's like your soul's purpose, or a path that you're supposed to be on, and you sabotage it. You're like, oh, that's not meant for me. Oh, I must be crazy. Somebody else is already doing that. Da-da-da-da-da. So finally I was just like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to go for it. And last year I completed the Reiki 1 and 2. And it was so interesting going through that, because a lot of the things we learned in there are already very much of my part of my daily practice, my daily manifestation practice, my tuning into my highest self, my clearing my energy, raising my vibration. But I had additional tools and knowledge to be able to do this along with the techniques, right? And so it was just like, wow, okay, so now I compare this with this, and this with this, and this is even more powerful. So it was this really life-changing experience for me. And so I told myself I was going to go through the master teacher training so that I could start teaching Reiki and energy healing to others so they could be certified instructors too. Because you guys know this, my goal is heal myself, heal you guys, help heal the world. It's like the gift that keeps on giving, right? And so I'm like, if I can teach people how to heal themselves, or teach people how to heal people, holy smokes, like that is an even bigger ripple effect. And the gal that I had done the Reiki 1 and 2 didn't have the master training set up yet. So I was like, all right, well, just keep me posted. Went about with my life. And I hosted, we had a retreat a few weeks ago. Actually, it's been about a month or so ago now, in April in the Black Hills. And I had that planned for quite some time. Well, it turns out that she had the master training the same weekend that I was hosting or co-hosting. There was 2 of us hosting that retreat. The same weekend as the retreat. And so I was so bummed about it. I was like, damn it, I'm not going to be able to go. Like, that totally sucks. And so I started looking at like alternative ways to do this master training, because I'm one of those people, I love a hands-on experience, especially when it comes to energy healing or horses, anything like that. I feel like it's so much better in person. Not that you can't do it virtually. I'm a very hands-on learner. I want you to show me. I want to talk through it. I want to touch it, see it, feel it. And so even though I offer online programs, doing an in-person training was something that was very important to me. And so I had to start looking outward and looking at some of these online options. And none of them really felt right. So I just, set the intention that whatever will happen is meant to be, right? And so then, shit you not, the week after the retreat, the Black Hills retreat, this teacher reached out to me and said, she said, "Hey, Sasha, we had to reschedule." And I felt really bad because she ended up getting COVID. And so she was out for a couple weeks, and then she was in the hospital for 1 week. So they had to reschedule based on that. And then she had a bunch of life things come up. And then one other person had to drop out of the training because of health reasons. And so they had a spot open up in the training. And she goes, "Hey, I know you were interested. Do you still want to do this?" And I was like, "Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you." And I was like thanking the universe. I was thanking God. I was thanking spirit, source, all the things, because this aligned perfectly, because there was a bunch of things that I wanted to do, to teach, to promote in terms of business and helping others, but I couldn't technically do it until I went through this training. And so I had a lot of things on my plate that were kind of on hold. And so when she reached out, and I think it was just a couple of weeks ago, and she said, "Hey, I have this spot open." I literally paid in full that day. I was like, "Yes, sign me up. We are doing the thing." And so that was what I attended this last weekend. And I can't get into, exactly what it is that we did, because you have to be attuned to it. It's kind of like, like if you were to go get a college education or things like that, they're not going to tell you, your whole semester or 4 years worth of education and things like that in a half-hour podcast, right? But I will share with you some of the profound experiences or parts that stuck out to me and what I'm so excited about, because I have been practicing law of attraction, manifestation, different types of energy work for quite some time, right? Like with the law of attraction, they talk a lot about like the emotional vibrations, emotional guidance scale, frequencies, things like that, healing your stories, healing your past, showing up as your highest self, attuning to the energy of the thing that you desire. So a lot of those things I've already kind of been practicing. And so Reiki goes really hand in hand with that, because the things that we talked about this weekend, and I'm like super into crystals, you guys, because crystals are just an added tool to my daily spiritual practice. And so in this training, we talked all things crystals, crystal grids, world peace grids, how to, set intentions, how to help you manifest, how to help you heal yourself. We talked about energy bodies and auras, and gosh, what else? We talked about the different frequencies, the different vibrations. We talked about more in-depth ways how to heal, how to cleanse an aura, how to, cleanse away like the negative energies. Cause sometimes we can, encounter people who may have, I don't want to say like bad energy, but maybe they're experiencing something negative at that time. And, if you ever go to a grocery store and like the gal or whoever's checking you out is just kind of like an asshole, where they're like, "Have a nice day." And the next thing you know, you're like, "Man, I felt really good before I went into the store, but now I feel like shit." Sometimes they energetically take a poop on you. And so like aura cleansings and things like that can help remove that negative energy so that you can be fully functioning, human being basically. And it's not just going to be done in like one session. You can clear a lot in one session, but sometimes we carry around years and years and years of stuff that isn't ours, and it takes multiple sessions in order to heal. Just like, if you gain weight over 5 or 10 years or even a year, you're not going to lose that weight overnight. It's a gradual process. It's a gradual healing, gradual cleansing. And same thing with like Reiki. Reiki basically just enhances and promotes, relaxation, healing, gets like your energy bodies, which are also known as like chakras, things like that, gets everything spinning in a way, like a well-oiled machine, if you will, right? Think of like your chakras, your energy bodies as like a pulley system, a gear system. And so if one is all gunked up or moving too fast or moving too slow, sometimes it can throw off your whole system, okay? And they can manifest in the physical form. So for example, if your third eye is blocked, that's the chakra right between your eyes. Sometimes you can have nightmares, you can have bad dreams, you can have headaches, tension headaches, things like that. It'll start to manifest in a physical form based on an energy block in that chakra. And so we went into a little bit more detail on that. And then we also went into kind of the business side of things and like how to teach. And teaching comes very naturally to me, so I'm not concerned about that part. But it's like what to teach and how to get other people to experience how to play with energy and how to see auras. And I just could not get enough of this, because this is exactly what I like talk about in my programs too. I teach manifestation, I teach law of attraction, I teach how to show up as your highest self, but now I have like these added tools, these added resources to be able to share with people and certify them, because now I'm I'm able to certify other instructors or other practitioners so that you can create it as a part, or you use this as a part of your business practice, whether you want to start a Reiki practice, whether you want to add Reiki into your yoga, whether you want to add Reiki into your coaching or your online business, or even your brick and mortar business. Like I've worked with people before who have, Reiki infused oils, Reiki infused jewelry, Reiki infused bath soaps, things like that. And if nothing else, you don't have to use it as the business side of things. You can absolutely use Reiki as part of your spiritual practice, right? Because it's not associated with a religion. So you can believe in God, Buddha, Jesus, whatever, and still make this very part of your healing, self-healing, daily spiritual practice, and learn how to tune into yourself even more, trust that intuition, connect with those guides, and live the life that you desire, right? And so this just helps bring like an added layer of awareness to who you are, who you're meant to be, and how you can heal yourself from the inside out. And so I love this both as a personal practice and as a tool to help other business owners either start a business, or B, enhance their current business by adding a spiritual practice, a certification to it. Right? I love this so much. I am so excited. And I had so many like downloads over the weekend too. Like when you're in that state of flow, things just come to you. Next thing you know, you're like writing and you're like, oh, this idea and that idea. And they call that inspired action, right? So when you get in a place of joy and abundance, inspired action comes into place. And this is what I teach in my manifest courses. And so when you're in that state of joy, abundance, things flow to you, things seem easy, and momentum happens. And so next thing you know, you're doing all the things and you don't even realize it. And time just seems like it's almost like an out of body experience, to be honest. And time is just like flying by. You're enjoying life. Things are coming to you. And this is just another way that you can have, like, this can be you, And so as I went through this weekend, I had so many downloads that literally first thing when I got home is I'm like, all right, I'm booking the next training. I'm doing the next retreats. So I have a training coming up. I'm going to do an in-person training, June 26th and 27th locally. So for those of you who are local to me, space is limited. I'm only going to do a handful. These people are going to be kind of like my guinea pigs for this first round. And then I'm hosting a full-on retreat experience in September. And then I'm also going to do, and so the June and the September will be Reiki 1 and 2 certifications. Okay. So you will leave there a certified practitioner and certified practitioner, if you will. You're able to work on yourself and work on others. Okay. And then in October, I am going to offer Reiki sessions, Reiki healing sessions at my adventure retreat, which I'm actually going to be hosting in the Lake of the Ozarks this year. So I got a lake house in October. Super excited for that. I do have a few people who said that they were already going to be going. So spaces will be limited for that too. I'll be rolling out more details. But yeah, it's just like, once you do the thing that you were scared of doing, or the thing that you were worried about doing, or the thing that you weren't sure how it was going to work out, next thing you know, things start to flow to you. And this is what happens when you just like surrender to the experience, surrender to the universe, set the intention that good things are coming to me, kind of stay in that positive mind space and really focus on vibing high, right? Like drinking enough water, eating healthy, exercising, journaling, not letting other people's opinions, thoughts, beliefs bring you down, staying in your own lane, loving yourself, caring for yourself, following your intuition, listening to your instincts, doing things that bring you joy. Like if you love horses, go spend time with horses. If you love dogs, go spend time with dogs. If you love your kids, go spend time with kids. If you love nature, go spend time in nature. If you love reading or writing or taking baths or going to movies, whatever it is that you enjoy, make more time for it, because that is going to get you in a place of joy, abundance, happiness. And when you can operate in that space more of the time, you will attract more things that vibrate at that level into your life, okay? And so this is what Reiki has helped me do. And this is just another, I'm a student of life, you guys. I'm constantly learning. I'm constantly growing. I'm constantly challenging myself. I'm saying like, how good can it get? How good can it get? How good can it get? Not that I don't have shitty days, because there are some days where I'm like, fuck everything. But I try not to stay in that space. I don't let a day turn into a week. I don't let a week turn into a month. I don't let a month turn into a year. I just say, okay, today sucks. I'm going to have a pity party today. And tomorrow I'm going to wake up with a new mind space, clean slate, if you will. Leave whatever's in the past. And the cool thing about Reiki is, there is actually a technique that I can't get into too much detail on, but there is a technique to where you can send healing energy to your past, present, or future, because you can send things across all time and space, right? Because energy, there really is no such thing as time, and you'll learn about that within there. And so you can actually send yourself healing throughout time and space. So if for whatever reason something happened in your past and you're having trouble forgiving yourself, you can actually take yourself into that space and say things like, all right, I'm sending like this healing to myself at that day, that time. This is what I experienced and this is what I want to let go. Call in, whatever you want to make that. It's kind of hard to explain unless you like go through it. But basically, you're sending yourself messages in the past, present, or future so that you're not hanging on to that in the here and now. And this is just like another layer that you can add to your own practice. And so very cool stuff. I will definitely be sharing more as we kind of go through this process. And so I had to hop on and share my experience with you guys. And then also to remind you that I will be doing one last round of the 90-day Manifest Your Dream Life program starting June 1st. So that will be the last round for this year. So if you've been looking for a deep dive into personal and spiritual development, now is your chance. Okay. So go over to sashadavis.com, book your call with me. Let's chat about it. More info will be coming on that in the next couple weeks, but we'll start to shift later this year. So if you're looking for a program or a way to start working with me, this will be one of your last opportunities in this capacity to work with me. Okay. This is the Manifest Your Dream Life 90-day program. There's group, there's one-on-one, there's all kinds of cool stuff. teaching you law of attraction, manifestation, mindset tips, money tips, all the good stuff that you hear me talk about on this podcast. Plus you get, there's so much cool stuff. We're doing destiny cards this time. We're doing, we have a self-care coach coming in. We have a holistic nutritionist coming in. We have a mindset coach coming in, and everybody just kind of sharing their experiences, their tools, their techniques with you guys. Cause you know me, I say things like, or I'm always saying it's not one size fits all. What I do is not going to work for everybody. So you always got to take what works for you and toss what doesn't. And so that's kind of the purpose of bringing in other experts too. So you can see that there's more than one way to do things, and one thing may click and one thing may not. So you just want to take what works for you. Okay. So that's all I have for you today. I was just excited and I wanted to share. And if you enjoyed this episode, just screenshot, share, tag me on social media, sasha.davis. And don't forget to book your free call with me. All right, catch you later.